Hello, hello. Welcome to the Mystic Path. This is going to be your Christmas messages for those of you who celebrate around this time of year. Doesn't necessarily have to be Christmas. Let's call them holiday messages, actually. Right? Because we have lots of people from all over the world and everybody celebrates differently, including myself. So this will be your holiday messages for this holiday season. Let's just see. Look at that. There's like cat hair in the deck. Hilarious. All right. Holiday messages. What is the energy for the holiday messages for the next, let's say we have 2 weeks, right? A holiday season. So the next 2 weeks of holiday season, what okay, kind of energy can we expect? The thinking woman wanted to come out. Makes sense because we've got a rise in the feminine energy happening right now. Whoops. All right, we're just going to say the bottom of the deck is action. So that's the underlying issue at the bottom of the deck. So the energy for the next 2 weeks, we have the world, cycle completions. Ooh, storm warning. Victory, and the temple path. Okay. I already understand. Woo! The team is clear today. I've been recording readings and I barely get the cards out and the messages are just flowing in. I'm grateful. Thank you. I appreciate it. I love the clarity. Okay. So this is what I'm getting. For the next couple of weeks, there are going to be a lot of cycles completing. And that's why we have the storm warning here. Because in order for cycles to complete, okay, so let me just explain this really quick. I kind of look at every issue we have in life can be explained with tarot cards. Okay. In the tarot deck, the cards go from 0 to 10, right? And then you have the major cards, the court cards, the kings, the queens, the knights. And in the cards that go from 0 to 10, the 0 is the Fool card, which is about new beginnings. And the end is about completion, right? The World card about completion. So I kind of look at every issue we're going through, whatever it is, whatever the issue is, if we're triggered by something, in order to work through that trigger, right, we have to start the beginning. Then we have to go through it all in our head. The 2s are about making decisions. The 3s they can be about conflict. They can also be about celebration. The 4s are about building foundations. The 5s are about change. The 6s are about kind of like victorious, making a decision and deciding to move forward. The 7s are kind of about like working on yourself, facing your garden, tending your garden. The 8s, putting work in. The 9s are about like, I feel amazing and independent now. I'm almost out of this. And then the 10 is completion. Obviously, that was a very condensed version I just gave you, but so that when you're reading cards, that's kind of the base of how you start reading cards is like, and we have, the storm warning is a 10 card here, 10. So I feel like this is just saying, because there's been a lot of chaos, a lot of unrest, a lot of turmoil, a lot of suffering happening this year, we can't complete a cycle unless all that stuff comes up to be healed, right? Unfortunately. So think about like all the things that have happened in society. We have a pandemic going on. We have all this racial injustice, financial injustice. These issues can't be fixed or solved or healed until we address them, right? And in order for us to address them, you have to face that they are there. So all these things have been coming up to the surface so that we can face that they are there. So I feel like that's what this storm warning's about. The storm warning's about, like, listen, this is not over yet, but in order for us to have victory, I don't even know where that weird accent came from. In order for us to be victorious and complete these cycles, you know, we are going to have to kind of go through this muck. You know, I've said before on this channel, think that a caterpillar has to turn into complete goo in its cocoon and then restructure its cells, restructure on a cellular level to turn into the butterfly, right? That's not an easy process. The caterpillar becomes no more. It literally dissolves to goo. Then the goo does what it does in science. And, you know, it reforms and regenerates and restructures all those cells in a different manner. All the same cells, just restructured in a different manner. And now it's like a body with wings that come out, right? Don't you love I don't know what's going on with the shadow puppet hand movements here today. My spiritual team is very playful today. So think about that. So this storm warning is just kind of letting us know, like, this is not over yet. We're in the goo, but we can't become a butterfly. We can't have victory. You know, we can't complete these cycles and move into this beautiful garden of like a successful path. It looks like the temple path. I feel like this is saying, like, this is the path of righteousness, the path of truth, the path of love and understanding, right? We're not going to get to this path without, or this victory or this completion without this storm. And you know, this storm looks pretty rough. Look at it. It almost looks like it's like a hurricane, a tornado, and a thunderstorm all in one. So it's the goo, right? So I feel like it's just letting us know over the next couple weeks, it's still going to be more of the same. But in order for us to get out of it and to leave all this trauma and everything behind and to be victorious in this new way of being, we have to like deal with the storm, right? You can't just skip the storm and hear the birds chirping at the end. You got to have the storm for the birds to come out and chirp in victory, right? So I feel like that's what this is saying. The next couple weeks, we still got turmoil and stuff ahead. However, you know, victory is coming. We just have to stay grounded, stay connected, and just know we're in the goo right now. We're in the goo. All right, let's see. How is the collective going to be feeling in the next few weeks? Okay. How's the collective? Woo! Okie dokie. Okay. All right, we have grieving, which would make sense, right? We're in all this turmoil. We're in the goo. Oh my goodness, and look at this grieving card. The butterfly is there. I was just talking about the butterfly. Okay, so the collective in the next couple of weeks, they're going to be grieving. They're going to be, okay. All right, I got it. We got grieving, forgiveness, family, and career. Okay. So I'm kind of feeling that, like, we're in it right now, right? We're in the goo. We're in the midst of the storm. What's ahead after this storm is going to be great. We're going to have victory. We're going to find out the right path for us in both career and family. Okay, that's what's ahead. In both of these cards, look at you have this mirroring shadow of light from the moon there, kind of letting us know that like this light is what's going to help balance out so we can have these new paths in our authentic career and family. We're going to be our authentic selves. That's what I'm hearing. And that may bring both of these things into victory. But victory is not without transformation, right? And as we know from this storm warning and what I was just talking about, being in the goo, like change is hard. You know, think about that. That caterpillar doesn't just suddenly go, I'm going to be a butterfly in 2 minutes. Poof, right? No, the caterpillar has to break down. It has to it has to break down into nothingness, into goo. And that process causes a lot of grieving. And, you know, and then it restructures into this beautiful butterfly, but you can't have the butterfly without the goo, right? So I feel like this is what this is saying. There's been a lot of turmoil this year. There's been a lot of trauma. It's not over yet. We're still in it. We're still in the storm. And the way to get out of the storm into this victorious energy, is we're going to have to grieve what we thought our life was going to be. And we're going to have to forgive. So I'm hearing forgive ourselves and others. So I feel like what this is saying is like, sometimes we have an idea of like what we want our life to be, right? We've decided already. And this happens when we're young sometimes without us even realizing it. It's like you watch movies, your friends are all talking, oh, I want to grow up and get married. I want to have kids. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a doctor, right? You're little kids, you're dreaming, and that's great. But sometimes we get very attached to these dreams and ideas, and that might not be what our path is. But then we get stuck. Like, but this is what it's supposed to look like because this is what I've been picturing since I was 10 years old. Just because that's what you've been picturing doesn't mean that's what your life is supposed to look like. And so what I'm hearing is sometimes we have to, in order to get the victory in what we want, you know, in order to have the victory in family and career, we're going to have to grieve this idea, these beliefs, these structures, these rigid ways of thinking of like, well, no, it has to be this way. I have to have, like, I had a girlfriend that was like, I have to have 2 kids and it has to be a girl and a boy. And she now has had like 4 kids and they're all boys and she keeps hoping and trying for a girl. And at some point, it's like you can't just keep having kids. I mean, I guess you can just keep having kids. But at some point, you may have to face the fact that what you have pictured in your head is not the outcome of what's going to happen, right? And so sometimes we have to grieve and forgive ourselves. We have to forgive ourselves for being so attached to something. Because see, this is what I feel like. You see how beautiful it is here? Okay, it's so beautiful up there, and this light is like beckoning her, come over here to where everything's beautiful. But you can't come over and participate in all this beauty and joy until you've forgiven yourself for whatever it is. They're saying whatever it is, fill in the blank, okay? Because for some people, it's like, I'm never going to forgive myself for getting pregnant at a young age because now my life is not what I thought it would be. Or, and again, I'm just using examples. Or I'm never going to forgive myself for, I got into this abusive relationship. This guy was charming. I didn't know he was abusive, but I married him. And now I know he's abusive. But I'm going to stay here because I have always thought I would never get divorced. Okay? These are just examples they're just giving me. to give you an idea, whatever the issue is for you. Sometimes we have to face that what we're holding on to isn't reality, or it isn't, maybe that's not where we're meant to be. Like sometimes things don't happen because you're not meant. Like some people have a dream. I had a girlfriend who was like going to be a famous singer, but she could not sing, right? But her parents had a lot of money, and so they just kept buying her all this equipment and paying for all these expensive voice coaches, and that did not change the fact that she could not sing. Okay, so at some point then she had to face the fact and grieve that dream. I'm not going to be able to be a famous singer because I don't have the voice for that. And I'm going to have to forgive myself for holding on for so long to that dream, because now I've wasted 20 years of my life, or whatever it is, right? Again, just examples here. So they're telling me just to pull some advice cards. So we're not really going to pull any tarot here. We're just going to pull one of these. So this is like the overall theme for the next couple weeks. Victory is ahead, and you're on the brink of having everything you've ever wanted in life. The path is unfolding right in front of you to have all of your family and career desires fulfilled. But those things are being blocked right now by the fact that we're in this storm. So we have to face the fact that we're in the storm right now, whatever the storm may be for you. Some of us, it may be a big storm that's like happening to the collective. For some of us, it may be a personal storm, like a divorce or a death or a miscarriage or whatever it is, right? So, take what resonates, leave the rest. But in order for us to have this path of victory unfold for us, we have to face the storm that we're in, and we have to grieve and forgive, because the only way the cycle completes so that we can have victory and this path can unfold for us in career and family is by facing the storm. Okay? So let's see. Let's get an advice card here. Let's get a card here. Spirit for the holiday season. Whoa. Let's see. These cards. Secret Language of Light I'm using for the advice. They are amazing. The book is amazing. So we're going to read from the book for the advice for the holiday messages. Okay. Maybe not. There we go. The card is Soul Song. Okay. I feel like I know what this message is already, but let's just go to the book. I feel like the message is saying, let's see what the book says, but my interpretation and what I'm hearing is, in order for these paths to unfold for you, you gotta listen to your soul song, man. You gotta be authentic and listen to your soul song. Card 41, that number may be significant to you. Also, 4 + 1 is 5. 5s are about change. So I feel like this reading is kind of saying we may have to make some changes. We have to face the storm we're in, grieve, forgive ourselves, deal with these emotions in order for us to complete the cycle, to have this victory, in order for everything to unfold, right? And the advice is, tune into the soundtrack of life. Your soul emits a beautiful song. Think of it as a pulsating light moving in rhythm with the universe. Your song travels through light and is the background music of your life. Even if you can't hear your song with your physical ears, know it exists. We know animals hear sounds we can't. Your song is always resonating throughout the universe along the music of the spheres and the sound the universe made when it was born. The greatest song of all. Om. Om. You can tune into it through your heart and your throat. Be willing to live your life from your highest, most aligned, most loving perspective. The next song or piece of music that moves your inner world will help you to tune into your soul song. Or you can go out into nature. The music of nature will balance and detoxify. Align with the sounds of the earth and you will find the steps to take next. Okay, this says, suggested journal work. Write down 3 movies, books, or songs that move you to inspired or joyous tears. This response is alerting you to your soul passions. And here are some reflections and actions you can do. Put on your favorite music and dance around the house for at least 5 minutes. Chant Om several times to align with your soul antenna. Go experience a sound bath, a gong, a Tibetan healing bowl, a crystal bowl, or a toning meditation session. This can be directly in person or as a recording. You know, I love sound baths. Again, you can find them all over YouTube if you just do some searches, and they have different sound bath frequencies for all the kinds of different things. They have them for confidence, for love, for forgiveness, for grief, for prosperity. So, and I use a sound bath every single night before I go to bed. It gets me in a really good vibration. I sleep amazing. My dreams are vivid, and then I wake up feeling great. And I really do think a sound bath is part of the reason why I wake up feeling great. Because there have been some times I've forgotten to turn it on before I went to bed, and the next day I just felt off, right? So this is a short one. They want to make this short, so hopefully this was helpful. Find your soul song. If you don't know it, make it your mission to find it. If you do know it, make it your mission to tune into it on a regular basis. I hope that was helpful. I am wishing you all of the best. Have a wonderful rest of your day, rest of your night, rest of your week or weekend, whatever it may be. Love and light to you.